going to be able to give us the bid.
Close enough. I got 7 o'clock. Okay. I'd like to call to order the Groveland Township regular board meeting for February the 14th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay. And Janelle, would you take roll call?
Sure will. Palma,
I'm here.
Jack,
Present.
Bills,
Present.
Christopher,
Yes.
Mazzarelli, here.
Okay. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda for tonight. It looked okay to me. I don't see any additions or changes. Are there any that anybody wants to make here? If not, a motion to approve as submitted would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. I'll second.
In answer to your earlier question, Noreen, this is likely to be a fast meeting when we got them both vying for the seconds. So any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, it's approved. And then we have minutes also for the January 10th meeting. And so everybody had a copy of those. They looked all right to me. If they are, then I need a motion from somebody to approve them as submitted.
I will move to approve January 10th, 2022 minutes as submitted.
Is there a second to that?
I'll support.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, they're approved. Now we'll move on to the financials. And excuse me, Rod, I thought you were going to be on vacation.
Last month.
Really?
What are we gonna do?
Okay, we'll get to you in a minute then. There will be an addition to this, okay? Under presentations, because I misunderstood what you told me, Rod.
Oh, you have it. Okay.
I have it.
Okay.
Do we want to approve the fire board minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we need to approve the fire board minutes from last month as well. I apologize.
All right, I will move to approve the Groveland Township Fire Board regular meeting minutes, January 10th, 2022 as submitted.
Okay, is there a second to that?
I'll support again.
Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, they're approved. Now we'll move to financials. Okay, Patty, do you want to?
Do you want to do
The
give
agenda
Rod's,
first.
or are you gonna do?
No, I'll do them under presentation.
So I do not have any budget amendments at this time. And the accounts payables for the general account, $13,376.65. For the building account, $1,920. And for the 701, $1,360.36. The 701 again is where money is held, doesn't stay with us. It's money that comes in for a project or somebody doing something where we're gonna possibly pay them back. Not pay them back, but give them a refund. Their total amount is $16,657.01. For the fire account, 206, $8,846.06. And that's the account payables for January.
Is there a motion to approve those?
Yep, I'll make a motion to submit or approve as submitted.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Janelle, would you take a roll call, please?
Jack,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
Mazzarelli, yes. Palma,
Yes. Okay, now we need to move on to financial reports for general fire and building.
I will motion to approve as submitted. The financial report.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? And we're not actually approved. Well, let's take a roll call on it. We can't,
Bills,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
Mazzarelli, yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Bath.
Yes.
Okay, next item, this one's for you, Teresa, investment reports.
Well,
Look
you,
pretty good to me.
yeah, you have the investment report, everything's up to date and balanced, so those are the numbers.
Okay, right around 8 million. Looking good. Thank you.
Mhm.
And now, Rod, I apologize profusely because I misunderstood what you told me, but give me 1 second.
Rod, you heard that, hey, Rod,
Where were you on vacation?
Phoenix, that time.
Oh, nice.
Long way from Alaska. huh?
Yeah. You going back?
Alaska?
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sometime, I'm not sure.
Sure.
I told you that I drove up. there.
I'd like to go.
I feel bad because for those of you who don't know,
In the last year?
Rod has
Oh, the year
been
before.
the chairman of the board, our tax appeal board, I think since Methuselah was a kid. And he is outstanding at the job because he's very even, calm, he's very non-confrontational with the people, but he's very fact-based and fair in the decisions that they make. He has done an outstanding job, and I think the best person we've ever had on the tax appeal board. What I feel bad about was, after you left from the December board appeal where you had said you were gone, I didn't remember anybody saying it, and I'm like, what do you mean, Rod? So I feel bad, Rod, so we just wanted to make sure you come up here.
Well, you don't have to feel bad.
I got a plaque for you, it says in recognition of his,
That's embarrassing. So-
it's all right, it's a good one. In recognition of his many years of service as on a tough job in Groveland Township, Rod Krukka, chairman of the tax appeals for Groveland Township, get this, from 2001 to 2021. I think that's back to when they invented taxes, I'm not sure. So with gratitude from the Groveland Township Board and residents, Rod, I can't thank you much enough for what you did. And I apologize.
I would love to.
Okay,
I don't really have anything much to say, except that I was blessed to have great people on the board the whole time, and it made it easy. A lot of people moved up from there,
yep.
moved bigger and better things, and they kept me going, so.
It's just, I've never seen anybody that is good and as calm as you are, because a lot of people, when they come in to call about their taxes, they're not in a real good mood.
It's true. But for the most part, I think they treated me well too.
Yeah.
I thought they were respectful for the most part, and they dealt with things. But I mostly appreciate the people that I work with. I think that they made it easy for me.
Yeah. Well, you did an outstanding job and we appreciate it. Again, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it in December.
I'd like to add, Rod and his wife both worked elections for years.
Yes.
So Sandy's still working for us. Rod has retired. We miss him, but they did a great job through elections for years since
Thank you.
probably before I've been here.
What can I say?
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have nothing on the public hearings today, nothing under unfinished business, so we're going to move right into new business. The first item is to discuss the Transportation Improvement Association. I think most of you are familiar. TIA is probably the de facto expert on collecting and assembling traffic accidents data, giving us support when we want to do any kind of a traffic improvement on a road. These are the people you go to because the road commission and the Oakland County Sheriff and the MSP value their opinion very highly. So when we want to try and do something to change a sign on a road or anything of that, these people provide the data for it. And the fee is only $200 a year. It keeps that group going. So again, you can see there were a number of letters of recommendation from the Oakland County Sheriff and some other organizations. I would recommend that we approve, again, supporting the TIA, which stands for Traffic Improvement Association, for the upcoming year and paying the $200 fee.
Are you making that motion?
That was it.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions or comments from the board? If not, would you take a roll call, please, Janelle?
Christopher,
Yes.
Lizarelli,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Bath,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Patty, can you take care of paying that?
Yes, I will.
Okay, and then next item is discussing the building department fees. Most of you know Danielle does most of the building departments, or virtually pretty much just about all of the building department stuff, and she's been doing a great job. And one of the things she's done with the recent change we've had to do because our ordinance officer is having some health issues right now is we've got the person that does Brandon Township doing us, to helping us, and he's doing a great job. And as a result of that, they've been kind of comparing notes, and he and Danielle noticed that we were not keeping pace with the fees. So Patty, I think there's a process we have to go to. I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because those fees help operate the building department, basically is what it is. And I'd like us to look at going ahead and doing that.
As soon as I catch a minute, Danielle, we will sit down and take a closer look at this. Figure out how we want to do it. Maybe we'll have Brandon send a little bit more of their fee schedule
okay.
information over.
Okay.
So that was just an informational thing?
Just
like-
to make sure, unless somebody had an objection with it, it was just to see if we're all together on it. Okay.
Yeah, the example she said was a big disparity.
Yes.
So I think we should revisit it.
I know you'll all be surprised at this. Every now and then we get a developer or builder calls in and says, you know, your charges are too high. I'm going to complain to the state. And I go, really? And every time we check, you know what? We haven't raised them in a while. They need to be done again. Okay, next item on the agenda. This one's yours, Patty, I think.
Yeah,
It's
this
discuss
is
the postage
regarding
machine.
the postage machine. So the postage machine is the contract's gonna come due. So I took a feeling through the office of the postage machine where everybody was, if they liked it, because it was newer 5 years ago. And everybody's happy with it. So apparently we'd like to keep it. The current lease rate is $65.71 a month. And the estimated lease extension rate, I forget how this worked out, it's $68.71, but our rate for 5-year lease with it is $76.31 per month.
This is new machine, right?
Yes, and then that's why it says, yeah, look, it says right there, I wrote it.
You wrote a cheat sheet for yourself on
New
it.
machine, that's the difference. So the current lease rate right now is $65.71 a month. Should we just extend that lease, we'll be paying $68.71 a month. However, within, was it 2 or 3 years, they're gonna require us to have a new machine anyway. So with the brand new machine starting out for the next 5 years, it's $76.31.
And that one will be compliant with the change.
Yes, it'll be compliant. We won't have to stop in the middle of our contract, renegotiate everything. And so I motion that we purchase or we lease with the new machine at a cost of $76.31 per month.
5 years.
For 5 years. Thank you, Gina.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? Okay, if not, Janelle, would you take a roll call on it?
Gina? Yes. DePaula?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
Okay, next one, social media guidelines. I got some information and some discussion a little while back, and we're very fortunate that Janelle is just absolutely stunning at doing communication issues. And so I said, I thought this was a pretty good idea. What'd you think? And she put together a very nice outline of what we might adopt for our social media guidelines, and that's what you have before you. So that's the discussion item on the agenda right now. If there's any comments you want to make on that, this is the time to do it. I think it would be a good thing to do. If you look at it, it will not promote or encourage illegal activity, will not contain personal attacks or defamatory language. It will not support or oppose any political candidates. It will not spread onerous and inaccurate information. We know there's some of that on social media, right?
Somewhere.
We will not support or oppose ballot measures or millage proposals, because if a lot of you don't realize that, the townships really, you're not supposed to take a position on it, and we have not on any of them. Post will not include obscene, profane, or discriminatory language. will not contain pornographic content. I would hope not. And post will not advertise or promote private businesses. So I think she's done a good job of outlining this here, unless there's some comments that anybody wants to add to this. I think it'd be a good approach for us.
I'm just curious, so are we gonna put this right on the Facebook page at the beginning of it? Yeah, okay, that's all I was interested in.
And the way that I have draft on there for a reason. If you have suggestions, additions, removal, please, certainly let me know. I have written it in such a way though that it can be used across multiple social media platforms in case in the future we ever did utilize anything else.
Well, even when we run our YouTube channel or our stuff there, these are really the same guidelines we apply to, even on an election item where we might feel strongly on it. The video always just says, here's the facts, so vote your choice. Every one of them I've ever done. Okay, I think it's good. So if there's no comments or suggestions, then we would need a motion to approve it.
I'll motion we approve the social media guidelines to be posted at the beginning of the Groveland Township Facebook page.
Okay, is there a second to that?
I will support that.
By Gina?
yes.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, if not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great, we're cruising here. Okay, next item, discuss new alternate for Board of Review, Diane Eller. And why do I not have?
Oh, yeah. Reset.
Because there probably isn't anything like in the packet about
Okay.
it, but, yeah, so.
Would you like to speak on it?
I certainly can. Well, we had to find a replacement for our outgoing wonderful Board of Review member there. And so we did have one person after, posting it out there as much as we could.
Mhm.
And Diane is a resident here in the township, and she expressed interest and was trained last Wednesday. She attended the training, and so she is all good to go for the March Board of Review.
Okay,
Okay,
and she's the alternate because
She's the
Janelle's actually
alternate.
filling the slot that Rod vacated.
yeah,
And
so
then,
Well,
yeah, they still have to pick
they
a
have to pick a
chair
chairperson.
for the March Board of Review.
So, yeah, but Diane's all ready to go.
Okay,
So,
so you're to nominate her as the alternate?
oh,
Motion?
yes, that, I have to make a motion for that?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I would like to motion that Diane Eller be accepted as the alternate for the Board of Review.
Is there a second?
I'd be happy to second that.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? I'm thrilled. We finally got the slots filled, and I'm gonna fill that last one within the next week on the PC. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, moving. Okay, next item is to discuss the CBiz OPEB. And for anybody that doesn't know what that Greek hieroglyphics is, CBiz is the company that does the actuarial tables for our retirement funding vehicles, like for healthcare and stuff. And, MERS gives us one every year after the first of the year for where we are on the pensions, and we're in good shape on that. The other bucket of funding is for retirement healthcare stuff. And that's the one you hear a lot of times, a lot of places are really jammed up on, right? But, we made some changes to ours and changed them from what they were before. And ours is in exceptionally good condition. When Patty and I went through this, Patty caught a small error in it, and I agreed with her, and we went back to CBiz and said, it's a small error, but you need to fix it. And actually it made it a little bit better. So these are the pages of, in case you're wondering, it's razor close, chief. You're 171.42% funded in the fire department. And I think the general one is 283.05. So the funding for the pension funding for OPEB, other post-employment benefits, which for us is retirement health, is actually in excellent shape. Okay. If you want to see the whole report, Patty's got it.
I think I ran it.
If you're having trouble sleeping at night,
Yeah, please.
you can read this and look through all of the numbers they crank. But those ones I gave you are kind of the bottom line of what it all amounts to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sometimes I think it's on my eyelids.
so that's just a discussion item because we had tabled it before because Patty and I wanted to get that little discrepancy fixed. The next one is just a discussion item also, G, and that is discuss the it should be 2022 RCOC or 2021 strategic planning report from the meeting we had. And I just wanted to, I think I alluded to this in the last video, really, before the cable company went Fritzo on us. We apologize. If you want to watch the cable channel, it's out for a while. We had them upgrade our equipment, which we own, and then Comcast decided they had to do something, and that knocked it out until the 27th, I think. So the cable channel isn't running right now. But at any rate, what it is after we met with the road commission, they do this every couple of years. They have strategic meetings with the townships out here. We had one here at our office, and I think it was us, Brandon, and the village, I think, that were in that one. We tell them what we would like to be able to do going forward and where they might change their focus. And what it appears is going to happen right now is they're saying that for this upcoming summer, they're actually going to repave Groveland Road from M15 to Barron Road here. And I think it's still in pretty good shape, except there's two cross culverts that are in the road on the piece that we did from Jasmine that must have heaved in the frost. Yeah, you'll know when you hit them because it's like hitting a speed bump at speed. But it's the two cross culverts. So I think when they repave that, I'm sure they'll take those out, cut them back down, and then repave the road. And we should. Yes. So that's one of the projects for this upcoming year. The other thing we gave them in the report was we said, well, going forward, just in long-term planning, I've said this before, the only roads we can go to the federal government on that FAC committee, which is where the money comes back from Washington, is if you're doing a primary road. And the only primary roads in the whole township were set up eons ago by the road commission. That's Groveland Road, Grange Hall Road, Oak Hill Road, going east and west. And the only north-south road is really Wildwood up to Grange Hall, Barron up to Groveland Road, and then through the two curves on Groveland and into that little piece of Van Road that takes you into Genesee County. So those are the only roads you can get the funding on. So obviously without 80% of the money coming from the federal government, nothing would get paved. Okay, so we work on those projects, but they tend to take anywhere from on a rocket sled ride 4 or 5 years to about 7 years to get into the sequence. And that gives the community enough time to come up with roughly a 10% match on it. Barron Road, for example, is just about $5.5 million. So we had to pay about $500,000 on it. And the long-term project, I told them that we would probably do next, because our tradition has been to try and do one road on the north side, one on the south side. Barron's kind of in the middle, so that nobody feels like, oh, they're all going to somebody's area. And the next one would really be Wildwood, starting from Dixie Highway, probably up to McGinnis would be one project. And then from McGinnis up to Grange Hall would probably be another one. Now, they've already slotted everything, I think, through 2025 or 6. Okay, so it's not in the hopper, but at least we're on record saying that's the next project we would like to take a look at. And if you think about it, that's the one place where we probably get some complaints, because on Wildwood Road between Dixie and McGinnis, there are sections that have heavy tree cover and sections that have no tree cover. And when you get no tree cover, what happens when they chloride the road, the no tree cover part dries out in about 2 or 3 days and gets real dusty. Well, they don't come and chloride them every 3 days. We get 5 a year. That's it. So it would eliminate some of that dust issue. And that is a main road for a lot of the people on the south side to get into the interior. If you think about it, when we finally get to the point where all the primary roads are done, everybody will either be on a paved road or within about 2 miles of one, so that you won't have as much gravel road to go over. And we've already done basically the gravel road to paved road approaches on every gravel road in the township except way over by the Kurt's gravel pit, because we still need to wait and see what they're finally going to do in mining that property. I don't want to have them pave it and then have to bust it out a year later. So that's just, it's really just FYI, so you know where we're going if people ask you what the next projects are. So I'm sorry.
I just had a quick question. So when you have long range strategic planning, is this list in any particular order? Because
No.
you got the signs there
Yeah.
for Tyndall Road.
Yeah,
all
and
that.
I've called on the Tyndall Road. This is because of dealing with the road commission and traffic orders. It's like making a fine wine. It has to age very well before it actually materializes. The
That would make
originally,
it worth it in the end then, right?
they originally didn't even want to do it, okay? But I said, you need to do something because the Frisbee Golf at the Holly Rec area, all the people don't want to park in the parking lot and walk to it. So they were parking at one time on Dixie Highway, which made an accident potential happen there. So we had the police write some tickets and they stopped parking there. Then they went across the street and parked at what used to be State Wire. It's a masonry guy now. And he had to throw them out of there because it was his parking lot. And then they parked at the dentist and the dentist had them towed away. So now they park on Tyndall Road all the way from basically Dixie Highway up to where the gravel pit entrances are. There's about 10 or 12 houses along there, and they get upset because sometimes these people either block their driveway or they're so close to it, if they want to pull out with a camper or something, they can't get in and out of their own driveway. So they asked me if we could do anything, and I went to Alex Rakowski, who is the sign engineer at Oakland County Road Commission, and he used to be our township engineer at Orchard Hills. So I have a pretty good relationship with him, and I said, we need to do something about it. And when I went through it, he understood. He said, I agree with you. Now, what it takes to get a change is it has to go to the Michigan State Police and get something called a traffic order. All of them go through Lansing through 1 or 2 people for the whole state. So the guy's got like 2 years of sign requests and stuff that he's working on. Well, this one finally got approved by the road commission and sent to them, but he can't get a date on it. So I've asked him to get me the name of the guy in Lansing that gets it. And I'm going to make a couple of calls to some people I know and see if we can twist it, because I would dearly love to, if possible, get that posted before the summer goes and not have those people with the same problem, because they've had it 2 or 3 years. It just keeps on moving around over there.
Where are we at with the speed limit signs on the?
They've agreed. I got to go back to Petrowitz, I think it is, at the road commission and ask them where they on that, because they said they didn't want to do Barron Road because it was gravel and just got paved. I thought it would be a good candidate. They want to first post Grange Hall Road between Jocelyn and Trip Road, yeah. First to see if there's any difference. So they said they're going to do it. But again,
Okay. All right.
these come out of the sign department. It's the same problem where we've told the Renaissance Festival
Oh.
for next year that the state police suggested they put no parking violators will be towed right at the entrance of Perryville, Laring, and Holdridge Road. Okay. Alex is the guy that they got to go through. And I said, you need to call them. These signs do not get made in a week or two. It's like 4 or 5 months if you're lucky. And I don't think the Renaissance Festival's done that yet. So we're trying to do something on that too. But these aren't in any real specific order. It's just basically different issues that we talked about. And I will say on the first one, improving the estimating process, Barron Road's the first road that came in at less than what they originally told me. So I'm just happy. Okay.
Bob, have we had any complaints come in about speeders on Sharon Road?
No, not one. And I go down it fairly frequently. Sometimes I still go down M15, but I have not noticed people speeding on it. Have you, Chief?
My complaint is they do 45.
Yeah. Even on Grange Hall, you get a lot of that. Yeah.
Sunday afternoon driving.
Yeah, but that's not before.
So there are no particular order. They're just different issues that have been talked about and, you know, they probably took one road out like Barron Road and plugged in Wildwood for long
Sure.
term.
Okay.
Okay, next item then is miscellaneous reports. First would be the Holly Youth. Teresa, that one?
No, that's
Nope.
not that's Patty.
Patty, I'm sorry, I got it backwards here.
Kind of switched things
Yep,
on you.
I'm sorry.
Years I
got
wasn't
it
reading.
backwards.
So they did have a meeting on January 6th. And I'll give you a little update on the Holly area schools. The school board's focusing on safety and security within the schools. Night locks have been installed in the schools during the Christmas break. 3 new security guards hired for the district, currently training, working with Holly PD and the school liaison officers. And they do a blessings in a backpack program. They're planning a bowling fundraiser for that. The toy project that took place during Christmas, 84 families were serviced, 225 children through the toy projects. Approximately $3,000 received in cash donations and approximately $7,000 in toy donations. The total expenses were $547.67. And that's pretty much all I have for Holly area youth.
Okay, thank you. Teresa?
Yep, Brandon Groveland Youth Assistance. They met last Tuesday and they have a couple of things in the works. They have a schedule of movie nights that they will be posting. Everything gets posted to their Facebook page, BGYA Facebook page, and also their website, which is bgya.org. And so the big thing that they're working on now, they have an anger management class for 4th through 6th grade boys that is going to be taking place in April, that they are going to pay for. They can handle up to 10 children, and discussion was, well, can they get 10? And it was like, yeah, they can get 10, no problem. There are plenty of candidates right now. There's it's a stressful time in, you know, the lives of these kids due to the COVID and everything else has made it, you know, much more difficult for them in ways that they didn't have before. But this anger management class, they're going to take referrals from the schools for that. And if they have enough, they will run the class again. And they have a different class for girls called Girls Stand Strong. And that's going to be offered in the future. So people who want more information can go to the BGYA Facebook page or to the website. And then their youth recognition night is April 21st. It's going to be held in person at the Brandon High School in their cafeteria. The co-chairs are Jeannie McCreary and me. And so nominations are due on March 1st. And nomination forms can be picked up here in our township office or at Brandon Township office or on the Brandon Schools website or the BGYA website. So
This is to nominate the kids.
that's to nominate the kids. And yes, nominations are due by March 1st. And then there's the in-person, you know, event is going to be April 21st. And it promises to be a very wonderful night for the kids. This year's theme is Youth Volunteers Shine Their Light. So if you know anybody who's done outstanding volunteer work or an act of heroism, there's several criteria. There was an article in the Citizen, and also if you want any other information, you can contact me or you can go to the BGYA website and so on. Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Planning Commission, Jim?
Yeah, the planning commission met and the lone topic of discussion was how to deal with the parking and traffic situation that surfaced last year during the Renaissance Festival. A letter was crafted that I believe went out, and that letter was crafted to put the folks at the festival on notice. We need to come to the table. We need to propose a number of changes in collaboration and making this happen. And without going into the particulars, it was a pretty stern letter, I believe, to the point that, if you don't show up with your A game, you may not be in business. And that's about all I can comment on it, I believe.
Okay, we're close to finishing up the overlay district. There's a couple little tweaks we got to do to
That's
it.
right.
One of the things just that I noticed was somehow, and I don't remember exactly how, we ended up taking the back part of Big Sky Drive and adding it into the overlay district that's on Dixie Highway. And I don't think we need to do it because that's where the industrial lots are. And the other thing is, I'm not sure that the way the original overlay district got written, where it said no outside storage at all, regardless of zoning. I don't think that's right. I told Michelle, we need to talk about that, because if we don't have any place in the entire township where you can have a industrial application and have some outside storage, I don't know what we expect potential people to be able to do. You gotta have some, you don't want it on the frontage on Dixie, but you gotta have some place that you can put it. So those are the last two tweaks I think we have to do on it.
Thank you. I didn't remember that, Bob.
Okay, well, part of it is because I got on a phone call this morning. Okay, I'm sorry. Gina, anything for BZA?
No meetings, no. And
Okay.
none scheduled for tomorrow either.
I only have a couple of things. I attended a meeting that the Water Resource Department put on with David Coulter, our county executive, to again ask for some money for the capacity that we're trying to get built in to the Genesee Drain Commission's project to bring the potential for sewers in the future without actually having them hooked up at this time. They kind of broke the project into three distinct blocks, roughly 35 million apiece. One to get the capacity built into Genesee's project, extra for us. One to do Holly and Groveland, and another one that would be over to Brandon, the town, the village, and the lakes over there. And this first one's just to try and get the capacity. And it was an interesting meeting. And the fellow put together, Brian Coburn, the fellow that runs the project for us with the Water Resource Department, said he felt it was great because David didn't say no. And I said, yeah, but he didn't say yes either. So I'm not quite sure where we stand on that. And I'll have another call. We have one once a month now. And we'll see where it is. I have talked to George and told him what some of my concerns are. And well, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the next meeting or two. But the meeting itself went pretty well. It will require the board, the county board of commissioners, to approve it. And I did send some information that we sent over to Bob Hoffman to see if he could kind of poke around and see which way the winds are blowing on it. So that's kind of where that stands. The other thing is we did get one of the bids back out of the three bidders that we submitted for the fire station. One of them sent a letter saying he declined to do it because of the cost of the bond. Another one, the one that the state police was very used to using and has a very good reputation with them, has been very helpful to me. Gave us his bid with some caveats in it. And I'm waiting to get the one from Barry so we can try and get to the point where we sift through it and decide what we want to do. We've had probably 8 or 9 people ask about the fire station one for sale. There's been 3 or 4, I think it's 3 walkthroughs. And I've got another one coming this week with a realtor, but we already have an appraisal on. I'm just kind of curious to compare notes and make sure nothing's changed on it. So I'll let you know what happens on that. And on the Renaissance Festival, I'm kind of concerned that we've wanted to have this meeting, hopefully with the Holly folks, get both of them together so we could get some cohesiveness to what we want them to do and have them respond to it, because it's going to take time to get those changes done. And it didn't work, but at George's request and a call I had with him, he asked me to call Karen Winchester, and I did last week, and offered to have a lunch for the 3 of us to see if we could facilitate getting that kind of a meeting. And I'm waiting for a call back, and I texted him again, so I'll let you know if
Great.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's all I have for the supervisor's report right now. Patty, you got anything you want to do for clerk?
Well, I do. On May 2nd, there will be an election for Holly residents. It's for the Holly School Bond. So anybody in Holly, you can get an AV ballot, not right now. We haven't received anything for that yet, but in the future close, you will be able to request and receive an AV ballot.
Do you know what the millage request is for? How much?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I don't know offhand.
Okay.
I did get the papers, but I don't know what it was. I put them in the election envelope.
I just fundamentally hate when they try and do them in May, you know,
I
it's
know.
one of those like, well, maybe if nobody shows up, we can get it through.
Yeah, because, when they do an election in May like this, it's refundable. I mean, we will bill Holly Schools for what we've paid to run the election, our election inspectors.
You still gotta have all the people sitting around, even if.
Yes, we do.
15 people vote, you still gotta do it.
Yeah. We do. And so only precinct 2 will be open. That's Fire Station 1. As that holds all our Holly voters. And then I have some veteran information. They're planning to host a town hall meeting concerning Agent Orange and toxic exposure. They're looking at Sunday, May 7th. And question and answer sessions. Veterans of all ages and their loved ones are invited. So they are going to have a fundraiser at the Vault in downtown Holly on March 5th. This is a dinner improv night, starts at 7 p.m. The improv troupe from Clarkston Village Players will perform. Tickets are $40 per person and $60 per couple. If you would like to donate to the project, please contact them. Also, that is for the wall that is coming, well, in August again. That'll be at the Richter campus property. That's the traveling Vietnam wall. And March 4th, they're going to have a ribbon on the tree service for Jace Kabadingan. I hope I didn't destroy that too badly. And again, the 5th wall fundraiser. So that's what I have for this one.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Teresa?
In the treasurer's office, let's see. So today was the last day to pay taxes on time here in the office, but taxes can still be paid here in the office until through February 28th, but penalties will apply starting tomorrow morning. Then let's see, on March 1st, taxes will be considered delinquent if they haven't been paid, and they are no longer payable here in this office. They're payable at Oakland County, and anybody who needs to still pay at that point would need a revised tax bill, which they can request from us starting March 1st. You can also get that from Oakland County Treasurer's Office as well. In February, like last week or so, everybody should have received valuation papers from Oakland County Equalization, where you open it up and it tells you what last year's taxable value was and what this year's
3.3.
taxable value. And, it went up by 3.3%, assuming that the property didn't change hands and taxable value changed and so on. Those were mailed out to everybody who owned any parcels here in the township. If you didn't get one, then we occasionally get some things that come back undeliverable. If you didn't get one, you can contact my office or Oakland County assessors, and we'll work hard to make sure that you get what you need. March Board of Review starts March 8th, which is a Tuesday, from 6 to 9 p.m. It's here in the township, and appointments are highly recommended. I do know that Rod, are they required? I don't think they're required. Walk-ins can come. However, it is best if you do have an appointment, because there's information and things that the assessor will prepare for ahead of time. And so if you have an appointment, that always makes the process go more smoothly. So you can contact my office or you can contact Oakland County Assessing to make an appointment for the March Board of Review. And I think that's pretty much it for,
A public thank you to John, and do we have a
Oh.
new assessor?
well, so yes, our assessor, John Vassaw, has left.
Moved on.
He's moved to a different job. He's left Oakland County. And since we contract with Oakland County Equalization for our assessor, he's been with us for 5 years. He just announced to us like 2-3 days before he was leaving that he was leaving and he's going to the city of Royal Oak. So we wish him well there.
Good
He
guy.
will be missed, but we have been assigned a temporary person for Board of Review or for all of our assessing at the moment. And her name is Leanne Bucci. And so she should be present for the March Board of Review. And I'm not sure if she's going to be our permanent one, but they're still working on that. They're in need of a couple new assessors down in Oakland
Mhm.
County, and they just can't find people to fill the positions. There's openings that people just are not applying for.
Them and everybody
Yes.
else.
There's shortages. So anyway, we've been told that we do have a replacement temporarily, so we're not without somebody.
You know, when I got the one bid back, that guy does tons of work for municipalities in the state of Michigan, right? He said, my hardest thing is trying to get answers on the prices for the contractors.
Hmm.
That's why it took that long.
Hmm. Yeah, so, okay, that's it. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks. Well, that's it. At this point, I have yeah,
I want to add something.
sure.
So to everybody and everyone who's listening, I want to comment on Rod. So I was lucky enough, no, it's going to be good.
I knew.
It won't
I
even
knew
be
it
off
was
color. I want everybody to know that the quiet confidence that Rod had for a number of years. I would sit with Rod and Kevin, and we had people come in drunk. We had people come in ready for bear.
Mhm,
We've had people lie to our faces,
mhm.
and I want to kill them. Kevin keeps keeping me down. And Rod is just stoic, cerebral. I cannot tell you, I learned from you and you did a great job,
Yes.
and I want to thank you.
Thank you.
I mean it.
Like I said.
I could s-
With Kevin and you and all the other people that have helped the board. It was easy.
We
I knew you
can,
had my back.
we can hear Tina Turner singing Simply the Best in the background, man.
You'll be missed.
You will.
Thanks again. Okay, with that, that's the agenda items. I'll open the floor. Does anybody want to make public comment before we move to the fire board? No, she's with me.
With me, my
I
name's Chris.
know. She has to listen to me when I go home, so she knows all this stuff.
I guess you do have something to say, don't you?
I better not.
And I'll tell you, well, and we live at 385 Wolf Road.
Mhm.
We've been there 3 years, to be honest with you. So I had a little statement to keep my nose out of trouble, so I could read it real quick. You know, when I so it won't be long, to be honest. My wife and I have been studying our property for the, at 385 Wolf Road for the past 3 years. We have contacted a landscaping company to begin reforesting of our property. Brandon Township Public Hearing PPC 20-006 regarding Bell Site Development at 104 Wolf Road. If approved, we will have to plant a living wall along Wolf Road to control noise, dust, and excessive traffic. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight, and this has been a very nice Valentine's outing. I say
Thank you.
money on this one.
The man still got game. Thank you. You were very good at that meeting, by the way. I thought you
Yes.
did a nice job of trying
Thank
to
you.
present some facts and figures, not just emotion, you know.
Yes, and my wife and I are here to present ourselves to you. Congratulations on 20 years of service.
Thank you.
Well, that's right. I know money. And so this is gonna get a tad hairy down there.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty much convinced that you're aware that there's a gravel company coming in at the end of Wolf Road.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was here last year when they came up, and then I was in the back this time when you were there. Yeah.
And believe me, you guys are almost a doggone godsend. Because the worst thing a man or a homeowner can hear is that there's gonna be a gravel pit at the end of their road.
Yeah, we have a lot of them out here.
Yeah, that, I understand, but they just popped up out of nowhere. And that was a surprise. So, I lost my train of thought.
Well, Patty and I have talked about this several times. That's why we were both in the meeting at the back. And that's why I wanted to stand up and make sure when they said that they were going to have a stipulation that the applicant would only come off of M15 on the Wolf Road. I said, you might say that, but all the independent, I still say they said 2,000 or 3,000, which he
I
said,
thought he said 2,000 or 3,000.
yeah, but they didn't record it.
Vendors.
Yeah, right. But he said it was, no, 2,000 or 3,000 it became when I said
No,
that.
right.
Doesn't, yeah. But Patty and I said, no, we both heard the same
I
thing.
heard that too.
And I said that it's very difficult for them to control all those independent suppliers that come in there. It's the same problem we have in a gravel pit out here where you get a complaint on a truck and I have to go, well, okay, whose truck was it? Because it doesn't belong to the gravel pit. It
Right.
could be any one of 100 different people coming in there. And it makes it hard to control it. And in the case of Wolf Road's actually posted local delivery trucks only. And technically, if they are on Wolf Road, all of those trucks are local deliveries. So the reason I stood up at the end was I wanted to tell him, you might tell him he can't use that, but if they do, you need to be aware. There's absolutely no way I can get a ticket written for that. That's a police traffic warning. So that was the reason why Patty and I were back there, but we've talked about it and had some ideas. And I think, you're certainly welcome to have the use of the meeting room and we can discuss some things at your convenience at another meeting.
We will take advantage of that
Mhm.
as much as possible.
Sure, that's fine.
And I'm also that we're coming, we have a future. We've been working at something for 3 years.
Mhm.
And it's just come to fruition to the step where I wanted to hire other firms to come in and do the work.
Mhm.
That's why you've never heard of me the last 3 years. I was busy working. Okay.
We're probably gonna have to have this other meeting though before the next Valentine's Day, so you're gonna have to do something else next year.
Yes, sir. Thank
Shoot for sweetest day.
Okay, if that's it, if there are no other comments, we'll adjourn then. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Reconvene.
motion to adjourn and reconvene for the fire board meeting.
Second,
Second.
no other comments. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, chief, we're all here. The meeting's in order and it's yours.
On the sheet, we had 77 calls for the month of January, a little bit lower than we expected, but that's what we ended up with. We're running a little bit slow right now. We're at 25 calls this month. For new business, Jason Hooverhide, as you know, was involved in a very bad traffic accident last Monday. We brought him home today.
Oh, today?
So, yeah,
Oh,
they cleared him and he's happy to be home. He still can't walk, but
yeah, both his legs got broke, right?
he's gonna go through therapy. So our prayers are out for him, obviously. And we put a GoFundMe page up, and that got more than what we asked for. And then we've had a lot of cash donations to help them out. Fortunately, companies work for is Workman's Comp will pick up most of or all of the bills.
Yeah, just so anybody doesn't know, he wasn't injured while he was in one of the ambulances. It was at his regular day job and someone drunk him.
We is presuming, I don't,
Yeah.
haven't heard. Who's that yet? Assume. We have 2 hires tonight. One is Nicole White. She's a firefighter EMT, currently a medic student. She's lives down in the White Lake area, so we recruited her here, and she came, I think it was last Saturday she came by, and we went on a call together, and her interview is helping us during a call, so and she had to take off right after that, so
That's the ultimate job training when it's on the interview.
and she jumped right in and helped us out, so she seemed pretty well-rounded, and so I'd like a motion to hire Nicole White as a fill in EMT.
Okay, someone want to make that motion?
I will make a motion to hire Nicole White, firefighter, EMT, medic student fill-in.
Is there a second to that motion?
Once your paperwork is all in.
And puppy shots and all that, right?
We brought that in.
I don't require puppy shots.
Oh. Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? Janelle, would you take a roll call on it?
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
Bills,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Okay,
We also have a cadet we'd like to hire, Colin McMillan, which is a friend of Maddox's, and I interviewed him about 2 weeks ago. And him and his mom came in and we talked about what happens at the fire department, stuff like that, told mom what to be worried about, and she's like, okay, we're good. And so I'd like to motion to hire Colin McMillan.
okay. Somebody want to make that motion?
I will make a motion to hire Colin McMillan as a cadet.
Is there-
Just for work is in.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Janelle, if you take a roll call?
Bills,
Yes.
Christopher,
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Ms. Palmer,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
Okay,
The last item I have is we've got 2 new CPR trained instructors. And typically we do CPR training once a quarter. And then sometimes we'll throw an extra one in because people didn't show up in the class and have to redo their CPR. One of the things that are brought up by the new people is that they'd like to open it up to the community when we do have a CPR class.
good idea.
And see if they want to attend. But one of the requirements with the new system is that we have mannequins that have feedback into them. Basically, as you're doing your compressions, there's some lights that light up that you do with accurate compressions, things like that. As you know, we're kind of tight on our budget, so I'd like to present to the board that we found some feedback mannequins. They're adults. They're 12. It's a 12 pack, so it'd be 12 new mannequins, and the cost of that is $1,505. So
That quantity of one is for the 12 that are in it, though, right? It's like a kit.
correct.
Okay.
So I'll just see if township would be willing to purchase those for the fire department.
Yeah, I think, and I think it'd be nice if we knew when they have it, because I'll be honest, I'm sure I forgot what we did when we had the original training with the one in our conference room, and I'm just curious, did we ever get the battery for that or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have this, I would like to know too, because I'll go back to it too.
So all 12 of these you can use at one time. Yeah.
So you could have 12 students.
Yeah, that's what yeah. Okay.
And it's not required for the pediatric or infant mannequins yet. They'll probably come up in the future, but they do have kits where you can add on to those. We don't, I don't think we need those just yet, but who knows, next month, maybe they'll say, all right, now we need them for the.
Maybe they come out with a new one with 4 or 5 heads on it, right?
I think you need.
No, then
Never mind.
they'd be too close to each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait.
Okay, I guess I'll make a motion that the township pay. I'm sorry, did you have a
I
question?
just, this is all you need, like just that part from here up, that's all you need?
Yeah, because see that, I think this is the sensor in it. here.
Well, that's where your lungs are in your heart.
I remember the last time we had training when Derek Stamper was here, and the mannequins were bigger than that.
Well, we still have all the other mannequins, but most, I think all the ones we have are just from the waist up.
Yeah.
We do have a couple full body mannequins, but CPR is primarily like.
I was thinking, yeah, the waist up, but these ones aren't, are they from the waist up?
Well, you can see
I
the
mean,
picture there, it's basically from the waist.
yeah.
There's a picture? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't.
Okay, I mean, it just, I don't doubt you. I was just, this must be like, newest technology kind of thing.
And it comes as a kit too, so when we've got them in the closet over at Station 1. Most of those are in bigger boxes, or she's got some that are, one mannequin per suitcase, so she ends up carrying,
We could do what they do at the Pistons game when nobody shows up at the arena. We could put all these in the seats out there.
Man.
Great Halloween.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay, I'll make a motion that we approve out of the, what is it, 701, I guess?
No,
206, our fund. I think,
He
I think,
wants the township to pay for it.
yeah, that's what I want to say. I want
101.
101. Okay, that's the number I was looking for.
Yeah.
That the township pay for the kit of 12 at 1505 from the township resources out of, what was it, 101?
I don't know which
What
line
number was
item.
it?
Do you want to take it out of capital outlay
Yeah,
reserve?
that's fine. Yes, yeah. Okay, we'll take it out of capital outlay reserve. Is there a second to the motion?
Second,
Any questions or comments from the board?
I think it's a great idea. But yeah, I
Janelle, would you-
like opening up to the public too, because there's a lot of us who don't want to drive
And if-
down to the hospitals
if,
to get renewed.
if you don't do it, you forget it after a while. All I can remember distinctly from his training was singing that Bee Gees song, Staying Alive. Can get the rhythm you needed for it. So every time I see one of that on TV, I'm,
And I guess I'm dead. Nothing happened here.
that's the one thing I remember, to get the right beat for the
So
pulse.
that's what we remember about the training.
If I go down, you're doing this. I know you're singing.
That's right. Okay, could you take a roll call vote on that, Janelle?
Christopher. Suzarelli.
Yes.
DePalma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
One last thing, we looked today for the.
Oh, our emergency
For the
light.
what?
Emergency lighting.
Oh, yes.
They're pretty expensive, 20 bucks a piece. So we're just gonna replace them.
Yeah, and that's why I said, I think that's why there's two different ones. The first time we did that, I think Rick came by and said, I ones that don't work are cheaper just to put new ones on. That's why we got two different styles. So we change them all. It's probably better. Okay.
Good.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, there's nothing else. Any public comment?
Did Jeff Burdette get his new stuff yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's ordered for you.
You've got partial.
Did he? Right, so he's after us.
There you go.
Okay. Well, no other items on the agenda, excuse me, and no public comment. I make a motion that we adjourn tonight. Is there a second?
Support. Oh,
Patty? Okay.
right out of Jim's mouth.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Would you like me to make a copy to put in the minutes of your?
Well, that'd be kind of.
They're on Wolf Road. Down by Patty.
I didn't.
Valentine.